What's good? You rocking with your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved. Shout to CommenterNation. Stand up. Let's go. CommenterNation, Commenter Universe. Grab a drink movement as always. Now, what I'm about to tag below in the description above the new channel that you could check out. Subscribe to it as I release video on that and get ready. It is capital THE, capital CZARR with a space between. Search it on YouTube. It'll come right up. That is TheCzarr, TheCzarr. Let's go. What we're about to talk about. Now, I already asked the sponsor. I'm sorry. Not the sponsor. I already asked the source a couple of questions and things. They're welcome to hop in the comments and answer those. But let's get to this. Now, what I want to discuss is the many stars or socialites, you could call them, that are YouTubers as well, that spoke on XxxTentacion after this happened, around the time it initially happened because of the emotion involved. Now, I did not realize that he was such an impressive figure to socialites like WOAH VICKY Lil Tay, who inbox-wise are discussing the death of him in depth, really questioning if he's gone or not. Now, I don't know if they're going to come out and say he is or isn't, or if they're going to outright say he's gone. If they do, that's fine. But whoever's playing on XxxTentacion's account, I want you to stop below and see the effects you had. All negative. Whoever's on his account trying to speak to people, do different things, communicate with them, that's not right. Even if you're saying you're doing it for marketing purposes, that's still not right. Nothing's good about it. And all it does is it sullies the whole incident and causes people to think otherwise than the official report I spoke on. You guys are literally the fault of people thinking he's really alive, and it takes sense away from rushing to prove or disprove involvement of certain people or issues that need to be addressed. You're the fault. And I want them to see it. And I want you, CommenterNation, if you have more YouTubers that are talking about them, post them, and we'll go through these videos. See, I don't care about the hard work I got to put in. Yes, the investigation is another side that we're talking about, but this is still evidence and investigation on the truthfulness behind this whole situation and who's actually involved. Now, the credibility, how come this? How come the source never questioned the credibility of people still posting on his account? Whether it's family or not, who's getting on his account, posting to people, saying the things they're saying, like you'll see in the video below. Now, do I believe it was him? I don't know. I have no clue. But what I can say is if it's not, somebody's playing around on the account, causing others to think that he's still here when he was alive. He did a lot of things to help them through tough times. And this shows the depth of his character and why it's hard to believe he pulled up to a spot flogging money just to flog it because he was young and dumb, quote unquote, the way that witnesses were portraying his character. And I called them all out. And as you've seen it, they showed up in the comments. That's my thing. Do you think that this is a conspiracy or is truth? That's ultimately what the question is. There's many different ways we can look at it. There's many different ways we can address the topic. What are your thoughts on the validity of what's below, of what's been mentioned here on YouTube? Because as far as the investigative tip, I've been doing that up until a point that it brought connects to specifically address situations that have to do directly with the issues that we're looking into. And that's my problem, is there's people like you guys, and then there's people that I know are credible versus these people who speak about it, who get information and try and cover it up and hide it. I remember when there was no further investigation going on and I was calling for it, and it seems it started happening, and then I was getting discredited by sources like, oh no, you didn't do that, they were going to do that anyway. Really? So they were going to expose their force, which they still haven't come out in the news and even claimed or took credibility for the fact that some of these guys were dirty and we need to reinvestigate it. If they're so credible, why didn't they get up and say these things until people started speaking out like I? No, it wasn't just me. It was other people speaking about it. But what's the problem with you speaking about it before I had to speak about it? What's the difference in it? Why would you guys go through all that to get to this point, and now you're quiet, and then the news rushes information out talking about how he was an abuser, all sorts of things to discredit his character when he's gone? How disrespectful. How disrespectful. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's the ultimate goal of it. Then you got people who are allegedly PD hopping in the comments trying to discredit me. Like, that was the worst part of it. You guys surely expose yourself when someone with PD tagged on their name try to say that I was doing something. What's clout chasing when you guys can't do your job? What is that? What does that make for clout? Are you proud of that? That you're covering things up? That you were exposed as being corrupt by him at one point in time, and now you're doubling back, trying to get rid of people, trying to expose this and that? What are you really exposing but yourselves? Showing that you had questionable motives, showing that you guys really weren't into the investigation to get justice for this man, maybe because you had some type of gripe that's unknown yet. Then we got news stations rushing information out that was put up by Pitchfork, but they couldn't say two things about their own force making mistakes, about internal affairs having to get involved because they can't do their job properly. All we see is people trying to make excuses and cover up, but it is no different than the real world around us. The privilege of some people put in position by family and people they know has clouded the judgment of them even saying the word justice. How can you even say justice? No, what I find most credible and most important is the fact that we have these individuals who I think are socialites actually looking to see if he's there or not. Then coming to conclusions, but I understand why they're quiet, because they probably don't understand what's all going on. Because they see a heinous thing happen to someone they love, they respect, and then on the backside, all we see is people pop up and try and make it credible when I'm not finding a thing credible about certain people speaking. So they're looking like, well, the police force said it, so it's true. No, these guys can lie too. How do you think that officials can't lie? And that was another problem with the source. Why can't officials lie? What, because they're human? What, because you never heard of a payoff? I have a payoff around here that I have documentation that politicians got caught taking payoffs just from my local state. Are you serious? And they were caught up and they were prosecuted for it. Or let's say they're going to be prosecuted for it. And this documentation I'm reading. And next, trust me, the police force here, you're next. No one's exempt from getting checked if you hold some law position and you're abusing it to lock up off of prejudice. Oh, this is another young black savage. Oh, this is another young black man with no future. Oh, and then you want to slap cuffs on him. Slap cuffs on yourself. Slap cuffs on your son and them that accidentally did something, but now they're asking daddy for help. Slap it on your daughter who was doing something, but now reaching out for daddy for help. Yeah, I got those stories too. With direct influence of officers in power trying to get their sons and daughters or relatives off of cases because of relations. I have it. Don't worry about it. I'm just waiting to blast you. Go ahead. Like I said, let me face injustice. All of you are getting to work. All of you from top to bottom. I'm running down your ranks. It's going to look like a clown fest. And when you guys see the truth of them, you guys are going to be laughing out loud like, look at these clowns. I read all this documentation. I sat back and laughed like, this officer, you would never think he's doing some of the things that people know he's doing. But then you get exposed, and that's that. Because we're not playing with you. Social media, you guys want to hop on social media, discredit, cover up, good. We'll take the war to social media. And I could promise you, it is going to be a messy war. With the documentation I receive, the people I receive it from, it is going to be a messy thing for you. And I'm going to use that to hit your friends up you've been covering for too. We're going to find out. Every time you've encountered a situation, a person has got off, or you have not done what you were supposed to do when they were guilty like that, but then you want to target other people and go through with the justice, we're going to hit you up. When the phone documents drop from certain dates, you're going to be screwed. You're going to be out there just looking like, oh, I didn't know. Well, now you do. I ain't playing, man. I'm not just here to be here. When someone works hard and gets chosen to do certain things, you got to know that it's to expose certain things. Trust me. The conspiracy of silence between you guys, all silent between each other. Shh. I know your brotherhood. And I know how you signify each other. But here's the funny thing. The same ones who ride into the city, do wrong and stuff, trying to ride out to the country, we are going to ride back home with you. We're riding right out with you where you go. And then when your home gets exposed for what you do over there, because you think you're doing it away from everything, then it's not going to be funny. It's going to be like, why are they over here making phone calls trying to get things covered up? Because that's the way this stuff works. Look at the effect that he's had to many lives and what he's given. And then look at how this little girl's crying over the fact her best friend's going and no one cares. All they want to do is make a joke and a show out of it. Yeah, I spoke about Lil Tay objectively, but in this video, look what someone did to her. Started speaking to her, making her think it's him, saying different things. Don't tell no one. Look how disrespectful that is. And you're supposed to tell me that, oh, no one did wrong that's close to him. He wasn't surrounded by wolves. He wasn't. People that want to make a financial gain off of him, legitly. And we're not talking about speaking about justice. We're talking about a financial gain, like using his name, using his accounts, using his image to grow their population. Now, how common is that? And it's been so long I've been speaking about it, and it's not done. I'm just giving you the calm before the storm. Because like I said, go ahead. Push it around me. Make sure that I try and get something. And you're going to see, man, the stuff I'm going to release in this city, I'm going to have the whole world gawking like, yeah. And I'm not holding back. I don't care. Listen, if you got sons and daughters, you should have thought about that before you did what you did. Seriously. Ain't nobody worried about that, trying to say, oh, my son and daughter, I did it for them. You ain't do it for them. You did it for yourself. And I know this because I know your character and I know who you are. And I know how long you've been riding around doing what you're doing. See, everybody wants to point out bad guys, try and build the image between bad and good. Well, I'm going to crush those blurry lines. And then everyone's going to know true evil versus people trying to make it in everyday life. You deeming him, oh, he's a thug. He's a hustler. He's nothingness. He's a terrible person. Well, we're going to show the terrible person in a suit. We're going to show the terrible person in dress pants. We're going to show the terrible woman that got her nails and her hair did and going to work like she's some established person. Because you guys did that for years. Most of you in lawful positions controlling people's lives. And you want them to kiss your butt in order for you to maintain your position and your pride. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to deal with y'all. And I'm working up and down the ranks. All of you are getting it. And I don't care if I was nice to you in the past. It's what you did recently. That's how I'm going to take it. It's what you did recently. Because the way you do it is you slide in and out, fill your nose up, kick your piff up with a badge on. But when the badge comes off, you want to say, oh, who's going to arrest me? I am the law. Good. Keep feeling that way. This is an assault on all of you officers that were never truthful, that hid stuff, that got off on things. All of it's coming out. All of it. And we're not holding back. And I'm going to make sure that if someone is compromised on the side, like they tried to compromise or crush my integrity off of their words, I'm going to use proof to crush yours. I'm going to use blatant proof to publicly get you. I'm going to get you suckers. I'm going to get you. And I'm not playing with it either. Y'all played with people's lives. Played with people's livelihoods just to make yourself look good when you were doing wrong the whole time. So sick. Then you want to convict others and say, oh, he did this, he did this. We'll give you this. What you did that. Well, we'll see who's exposed. I'm out there. I'm out there. There's nothing for me to be held out there over my head. But you guys are going to get it. Anybody who thought you were goody two shoes, I don't care if it has the dragging the relatives and stuff you got off, or it has the dragging the kids and stuff you got off. All of you are getting it. Because it's sick. It's sad. And those are the type of people who are playing around on his social media, acting like, oh, he's still here, and trying to play into the media to confuse people. We're coming for all of you. Notice I said we. So you can try and point the finger at me like, oh, again. Nope, it's already in motion. The team's strong. Strong. Greatest nation since United Nations. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.